written. Okay, we are here to do HLC work. Yeah, we got a quorum, I counted.
I was just wondering that.
Yeah, we're here. Okay, so let's start with the minutes. Ron,
Yes, there are two copies of minutes. One is for the previous meeting in June. And the second one was a special meeting that we had on the 16th of July.
any comments, any questions, any changes on those?
I don't think so.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move to, I don't have them either, but
They're not in here.
Does not get printed? Oh,
I didn't see them.
okay.
No.
You want me to go print those?
Yeah, I
Were they
didn't.
in the,
Pardon?
were they in the email that you sent out to?
No.
Oh.
I just assumed you were doing them.
Okay, my bad. Nope, that's all right. You want me to go print those?
I don't know, this group have to
I
decide.
can move to approve them, with the condition that if anybody sees something later on, we can amend. that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We don't even visit that.
Okay, so, all those in favor?
Right.
Okay, so that's the 6-2 and the 7-16 meeting are approved. Civic Plus upgrade, website upgrade. So you all got my email explaining, I hope you had a chance to read it, why we're not sitting here looking at Civic Plus giving us options, because it turned out that was going to be something where we were going to have to tie our fate to the city. And right now, if you don't know this, the city has 2 open leadership positions. So things move slowly when you don't have leaders. And so our finance director is missing, or I'm sure there's somebody in his seat or her seat, but they're not necessarily going to be the finance director. And our city administrator is gone.
Oh,
And
that's right.
so we have someone sitting there again in the seat, but probably they're more concerned with keeping the ship going straight ahead than they are with doing something outside the box.
Right.
And also we have a very squeaky tight budget, as Tyler knows. And so that website upgrade is going to cost money. So even though I had confidence that Civic Plus could probably make this happen before we lost our money on June 1st, I wasn't confident that the city could. It's just very hard if you don't have a leader in place, they get all the toes pointed in the same direction, it makes it hard. So we just, I had to abandon the one thought I had that I thought was pretty good. And what I learned from Jake, who is the Civic Plus person, is that we could use this, which is now this is just a format. It's not.
Right.
So we're talking about how it's laid out. We're talking about color. We're talking about the fact that there's a photo at the very top. I would want a photo actually that goes from side to side, and we could do that. And that's why, Olivia, I was thinking about, we could do the one for the Canby City Hall. That's our great downtown property. And I saw your photos. They look great.
I think, so this is like a template on the website that you can access and edit.
Yeah,
So for instance, that picture that's there, this section that's wide like that is a specific size, right?
yeah, I'm sure it
Can I
is.
just create a graphic of some sort with multiple pictures? Like we could do the city hall and maybe do another couple.
Yeah,
To make it look a little more like polished.
sure. Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to do just the one with the cars. It's
Okay.
just like, it's all right.
Okay. So if you're thinking about
Yeah,
other
that's-
photos, I have other photos too that I have that
Okay,
we could use
great.
as well.
Yeah.
So, and then we've got historic photos we can use too. So we can do a whole
Yeah.
lot with photos. I have a whole,
Yeah.
I found my little
Oh, good.
file folder that says cool photos.
Okay.
So I've got those. So we have lots of options. What I liked about this the most, if you'll scroll down, is this is what I saw on that North Carolina Parks and Recreation website, was they had boxes like this, only their boxes they just were photos. That was a total thing. And with the underneath it was the actual verbiage. And so this gives us a chance to say, you should have in your packet that Tyler did pass out, that I saw, which is, I think you did, maybe,
I don't know.
possible taglines, got that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll check.
Oh, the website upgrade?
Website upgrade, yeah. Is that there? I think it is.
You put those photos in?
Yeah.
I missed
Yeah.
that. I don't have that one. Oh, well, that's okay. So anyway, those were my thoughts. Thank you. Those were my thoughts about what we could do to upgrade the website. But if we're talking about this, when I talk about boxes, this is what we would, if somebody came to our website, first of all, I love these colors much better than the gray and the blue that we have today, which is really boring. These catch your eye and,
Yeah, I like the format. I think it looks great.
yeah, okay, cool.
I think it
I
looks
think
really good.
we just
Just make
say,
it jazzy
Yeah,
part and it'd be great.
yeah. So I think there's a little bit more staff time on the city side, which saves the money portion of the grant. So for the website, so I think, yeah.
so what you all don't know is this was going to cost us, I had $6,000 in the budget and that was part of our CLG grant. And they're kind of doing this off the books for us. And what it turns out to me off the books means is Tyler does most of the work. Dave at Civic Plus
Yeah,
coaches him,
right.
but we're not supposed to tell anybody else at Civic Plus that they're doing this. So I don't, and so
Yeah.
it's kind of a secret. So,
And so you have to be a city employee to be able to help access and edit and all of that,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Mhm.
so.
did you confirm that? 'Cause
Yes, I'm still waiting on an answer, but it's most likely gonna be that. I'm still waiting back to hear that, but yeah.
I had asked for password that we could use in this room, like a generic password,
Or,
to get into the.
oh, to be able to access the back end of it and be able to update and edit and all of that, yeah.
so,
But if that's not possible, if you could just tell me like.
Yeah.
what resolution and dimensions that. Strip is great.
Okay. Yeah, I have that down here as a note for the graphic sizes specifically.
so much.
And the thumbnails and all of
Mhm.
it, so. We
Yeah.
can go around it if we can't
Yeah.
get access to it. that's fine.
Yeah.
We talked about, this will also work for what I'm thinking of is page 2, where we actually have the 6 historic sites there. And so we have actual photos of those sites. And then you can click on those, see embedded behind each of those, that text is another website that gives you more information. And so we want to have that too. We want to be able to, if you click on the website with the picture or the box with the picture of that city hall and you want more information, you can click on that and I can peel the information out of the application that we use to nominate it for the local landmark. And that tells you what you need to know about the dates and the people and all that. So those are cool.
Yeah, that's clean. That's what I would have hoped for.
Yeah, I like it because it's clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing that we had talked about that I think you were gonna bring up to the commission is having like a directory and then photos of everybody, if everybody was okay with that.
Yeah.
But
are
we
you-
wanted to kind of get the feedback from Chelsea, I think.
Yeah, so instead of just having the board member list there, which is nice, we saw one that had the pictures of everybody who's on the board. That's much nicer. Yeah.
A friendly face, so that way if you see them around town and you had questions about
Yeah.
HLC, that.
That's funny because I was gonna offer to do that,
Oh.
so.
Yeah.
Right.
Right now, before I forget, I want to take a picture of this group because that was one of the things we talked about too, for one of the photos. When we say, what do we do or who
Yeah.
are we? Can have maybe the picture there of
Oh,
us
nice.
sitting in a meeting.
You want me to take a picture of you guys in there?
Sure.
Okay.
There you be. It's a little hard to get us all in, I think, but yeah, might as well take care of some business while we're here.
Have the grandkids to shield me.
So, what the problem we have now though is we have $6,000 in grant funding that if we don't spend it, we're gonna lose it. So,
Way to spend it.
and I have it. I think,
do?
yeah, well, it's, we've got such a tight schedule, so and there's only so many things we could do with the money. And one of the things is we can, instead of doing the 6 intensive level surveys that we've contracted with Willamette resource or cultural resource associates to do is for them to take on 2 more. And that kind of eats up most of that money. All but $1,500 of that money. So I can, I sent an email to them today and they said, peachy keen, we'll pick up more, 2 more. And so in your packet of information, you have something, I'm gonna get there eventually. This, it says 4 residents at the top. The very last thing you have. And it lists the 4 residences that we're going to do the strike surveys on, plus the church, plus the 1 commercial building. And I proposed 2 additions to that list. The duplex was one that we took off. We all voted to take it off and put Aura Salon on. But it's still a great duplex. It's still eligible special. There's no reason not to do it. It just felt better at the time to have one, at least 1 commercial building on there. The other one is the ranch house. You are standing on the corner of 3rd and Holly. Looking straight out the front door of this house, you'd be looking right at Wade Park. And if you turned around and looked that way, you'd be looking at the beer library.
I know the one you're talking about.
What little White House?
Yeah, I
Been there
actually
forever.
talked to the previous owner recently. She just walked by my yard, and got the yip yapping, and yeah, it was really interesting. Can I make a request? There's other properties too that I think would be really nice. That one is like, was built in 1955 ranch. My neighbor, and I can't tell you the address, it's, if I'm on the 5th in Holly, it's like directly across the street. They're also on 5th in Holly, just directly, and it's a craftsman. And they started down the path of doing, getting it historically recognized. And they were in the process. I think the owner then passed away, but it's pretty original.
Can you send me the address?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll-
and I'm
I'll
sure it's
get
in
you
one
the
of the,
address.
yeah, because I
I
would
think
have,
it's a lot, it's got a lot of really cool character. I'd much rather go for those ones that have more,
Yeah.
I want to save all the craftsmen.
Can you see it on there on the map?
Holly, you said?
Yeah, so basically it's on 5th and Holly. It's fun. Keep on going. Nope, now you've gone to 6th. No,
Oh.
go back to Holly. See, hold still just for a second. Gotta get my bearings on where you're at. Okay,
Here?
now go straight down. Let's see, yeah, go back that way a little bit. Their house is up and to the right. It's on this corner, right there to the right.
Oh,
So, yeah, if you do a turn all the way around, it's like a forest green color, this house, right there.
oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's super cool. Inside is even mostly original. But yeah,
I'll have to look at the,
Okay,
we've got a reconnaissance level survey on it. so
tell me,
like
is that
I said,
201 Northwest 5th?
and I put a bug in the owner's ear. I was like, just think about that. And they were like,
You said,
they're not opposed to it, so.
you said 201 Northwest 5th?
Yep, 201 Northwest 5th.
URLS. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
But you guys are all okay with moving the money to the,
2 more, sure.
okay. That's if I count. So
Probably still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do I have a motion?
Oh, well,
All those in favor?
I never heard it done like that, so I was like.
Like Susan.
No, I just don't, actually, ignorant is what I should say.
Well, actually, in regards to the minutes, the chair can always say, if there are no objections, the minutes stand approved as read.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Should be doing that. So also in your package, you have. Moving on, Oregon Heritage. Board members tour plan. I just wanted everybody to know that this is kind of what we're doing. What's involved. The only thing that Peggy is now confirmed, so if that says it wasn't, I printed this before. So Mark Prairie School is totally confirmed. They're good with being an open house. There was a change in plans. The Katie Abrams, who is organizing all of this for the Oregon Heritage side of the table, wanted to do open houses instead of tours of the DeMuro applicants and DeMuro award winners. And so I've managed to confirm that now with everyone. So that'll be from 3:30 to 5:30, and so people will sort of be coming and going, but they'll have information. Every member of the commission will have information in a packet about every site that they're going to be going to. So the only thing that's needed at the tour site is for somebody to be there to greet them and let them in. Historic City Hall, I'm doing that one. Taylor Building. It's a fellow by the name of Andrew Spivey, and he is an architect that is kind of one of, Hanlon Development, of course, owns that whole block, except for that small, spot that Oliver Insurance owns. And, so he's sort of somebody that she relies on, and that he's helped a lot with the design for both of what was the old police building, which is, is the Kaler Building, and for the City Hall. And then I'm gonna be doing the downtown tours. Ron has stepped up and said he will do the Baker Prairie Cemetery. And those are really sort of a greet and then point out to folks, because these people they're gonna know their ways around cemeteries. You're not gonna have to guide them to where to go. They'll go find what they wanna see.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you point out some interesting points.
Mhm.
And Rachel Swanson, who used to be on the HLC and who has worked on, I think, every one of the
Yeah.
project teams that worked out at Zion Memorial Cemetery, and she brought her two sons there to work, which was really cool.
Sorry.
Is that us or?
No, it's just a
Okay.
notification that we have free up storage.
Cool. Anyway, so she and her sons, I got a hold of her and she said, yes, she'd love to do it. Her sons actually went through and mapped the historic section of that cemetery because it had never been mapped. The city took it over in 1936. It had been around since 1895 or something. So that historic section had never been mapped, and so they now know where all the grave sites are, what row they're in, and the names of the stones, what's on the stones, which is cool. I'm not sure the city's done anything with that. I need to one of these days figure out if that happened. But she and her sons will both be there. We'll all three be there to greet people and point out things about the cemetery, which is totally cool. And then I think it'll be really cool if the kids talk about what they did, because I think they had a lot of fun. Brian at the fairgrounds has way more things to be thinking about right now than whether or not to get back to me. I think he just took one look at my email and said, I'll worry about that after the fair is over, and that's fine with me. If he cannot do it, or if he does not have anyone to do it, someone from SHPO can do it. They'll have all the material and I've already sent it to them. And the depot, I haven't heard back from Brian Denteman at the depot. Depot seems, both he and Nora have sort of stopped responding to any of my emails. So I don't know what's going on there, but I will, if I have to, I'll walk down there, just talk to them and see, make sure that they're going to be there. I mean, it would be silly for them to miss out on this opportunity. These are people that give them grants and stuff, so you want to be nice and be a good host. And Tyler, you saw on the to-do list that I have you down for, you're at the very bottom of the to list. I wanted to make sure you.
For which, oh, yes.
Okay. 50
Yep, I
copies
have
each of
those,
the-
yep.
Yep, okay, cool. And I did put some money, I told Curry when I sent her an email today, say we want to move money because I don't want to lose it. I said to give us some money for printing these. 'Cause
Oh,
we
okay,
might
so
be
okay.
real low on our
Great.
brochures, and
Yep.
so since they're using them, let's
Yeah,
use their money to
Okay.
pay for them.
perfect.
Okay, super.
What's the date that you need the information for all the?
Let me tell you what I'm really doing here is I'm just really, quite frankly, taking whatever I find on cultural resource surveys, pulling out what I need and just sending that to them. And which is crazy because they have access to all of that on their
Okay.
historic site
'Cause-
database.
Okay, so for mine, it's not right, so.
Okay.
The actual.
I'd rather have you send me what's right
Yes,
then.
I will.
Okay,
I'll
and
send it
so Katie and I haven't set a date yet, but she said sometime in September.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay, great. I actually missed something here for the website. So I'm gonna, if you're okay with going back. I sent you. And it should be in here, taglines.
I needed to figure out where there was.
I want to have a tagline for their art. So when somebody goes to our website, their name will be there, but then there'll be a tagline under that. And a whole bunch of people that I know have been telling me, oh, I've been using AI and it's so cool. And so I thought, you know, let's do it. And actually, it was really cool. It's very polite. It says, Carol, good idea, or thank you, or please. And I mean, it's just amazing. So it could be highly addictive. But I put in the one at the top and then I ask it to give me examples. And so these are all of the tagline examples and I would love to get your input and to have, and to pick
You're
one.
right, that is nice, because this is very wordy, right? So then it's just
Yeah.
boiling it down and giving it smaller, you know,
Yeah, because taglines are supposed to be short.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I like preserving Canby's charm one landmark at a time. That's kind of fun,
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like that one too.
because that is, you know, the idea.
No. Oh, I just, okay, I'll do whatever. I mean, I liked mine. I mean,
Yeah,
Bobby's co-pilot thought it was too long.
Well,
'Cause
yeah,
I
I do
just-
like yours too.
But
That's, yeah,
yeah,
it's the heart of it.
I like, you know, when we're talking about saving sites, I think it's important to let people know, we're not just saving the sites, we're saving the stories that go with those sites. And so that was why I wanted both of those times in there, both of those words.
Some possibilities. Oh,
Yeah, they-
landmarks, legacy, love, that's kind of cool.
yeah, those were they asked, it asked me, do you want to have some for social media? And I said, okay, fine. But I don't think we really want to have a separate one for social media and our website. I think we want the one tagline.
Probably.
It also gave us hashtags too. that we could use. Yep,
Actually, that's not a bad idea either.
yeah. I just didn't print them out.
I'm terrible with the hashtags. I'm terrible. I should know a lot about it and use it all the time in my marketing, but I don't.
Carol, wanting us to decide?
I'd love for you to all to decide, yeah.
You know, honoring the past, that first part I really like. The shaping Cammy's future, it's like I want to take the first part of that and add something else for the last part. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
Honoring the past, one landmark at a time. Or, you know, something along those lines. Because we're not really shaping Cammy's future. We're just trying to preserve history, no?
so maybe you've got honoring the past, shaping Canby's future, and you've got preserving Canby's charm, one landmark at a time, just maybe blending the bullet 1 and bullet 3 together.
Yeah,
From-
that's what I was thinking.
Okay,
Anybody else have?
I kind of like Carol's.
What do you think? Yeah.
I
preserving
like
our-
Carol's, and
our
the only
community
way
sites.
I would suggest shortening it would be preserving our community sites, stories, and charm.
Oh, okay, that's the way to do it.
I only use the word small town feel because if you've been in this community for a long time and read social media posts, we are absolutely obsessed in this community with small town feel. In fact, the last time we hired a city administrator, which wasn't that long ago, I remember that we actually, when we went out and advertised, I mean, that was a whole big deal in the advertising thing that we used. We talked about how the community really wanted to keep the small town feel, and that's what the city administrator needed to know. It was so weird, so.
You know,
And we could take out the word communities and just say preserving our sites, stories and small town feel.
I
That shortens it.
I think that what I'm seeing is that the cadence, it just by making it shorter with like one comma. Da, 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 instead of, you know what I mean? I think it's just one section too long,
Okay,
but everything you say is really good. Serving our community.
we can go to,
sites, stories,
we
small
can go
town
to
feel.
preserving our sites, stories and charm. If that's a little shorter.
I don't care for charm much.
Okay.
That's just me.
Small town feel, if you've done the
guess-
research and that is a, like literally a hit word, that's
Mhm.
a great idea to incorporate
Okay.
it, if you know that that's something that people respond to.
you know, and I'm new here. But if you look at the number of cities and towns in Oregon, it's over 400. Canby is the 40th largest. So there's 300 plus smaller. And 19,000 is not a small town.
Yeah, I think
I deal in fact.
I think when 20 years ago, when a lot of people moved here, maybe, that's why they moved here.
Yeah.
And so they still have that, they want to keep it. And even though we've moved up the list to number 40, they still want it to feel like it was when it was number 100 or 200.
And it definitely still feels small town, you know what I mean? You know the kids walking down the street, who they belong to, that kind of thing, you know, the community, so it does still have that feeling.
We do not have to decide on this today.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're kick the can down the road, might as well just
It's okay.
get her done. Past, future.
Okay, Ron, you wanted to, I think we can move on and we'll just,
Yeah,
Well, what do you want to do with taglines?
I think we're gonna just kick it down the road till like October and let people think about it. If you have, if anything strikes you though, if you want to keep it, I can get it, put it, just 2 or 3 that we can vote on next time. I mean, it's hard to pick one and vote when we've got 25 or 30 here.
The alliteration of the site, stories and small town.
I
is
love
the part
alliteration.
of that, like, I don't think it's too long. I mean, we're talking about the tagline for the website, right?
Right.
I mean,
but if we're gonna use that for the website and social media, it might be too wordy. For the social media part of it.
Could be.
I can live with the original.
Yeah, it is good. Let's go with the original. Let's just, I mean, it does
I'm gonna take,
say all the things. Do you guys agree?
I'm gonna
I
take,
like it
okay,
personally. I don't
Okay.
think it's too long. I mean,
I'll take out the word.
it's snappy.
Preserving our,
I'll take out the word community because that does make it shorter.
well, let's see, preserving our sites, stories and small town feel. Well, what about? No, because then it kind of brings, no, I'd say leave communities,
Okay,
because maybe then it loses its meaning.
I'll leave it.
Yeah,
Okay, everybody think about it. We'll decide for sure next time. And if you come up, see anything better that you think, that'd be good, let me know.
okay.
Okay, that's over with.
Carol, I just have a question.
Sure.
The website, so we made a motion to transfer the money, so I'm thinking about what the audit of the grant's gonna require in terms of documentation. Are we also granting some of us the ability to go in there and make the changes we talked about?
On the
Is-
website?
Is that part of what we're doing? Or-
I don't think we have the ability to do that. The city has to make that choice, right?
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about,
Just saying to change it, edit the website.
I told the city council we were gonna do it and they said, cool. I figured that gave us carte blanche.
Okay.
And the city administrator was sitting there and didn't freak out.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I-
I guess I'm thinking about, again, the grant, and then they're gonna look at the minutes justifying the change. And this body, are we empowering part of the body to make the changes? Because when we originally did the grant, we were hiring somebody.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, we still are technically, because Civic Plus is going to be hovering over Tyler's shoulder and telling you what you can and can't do.
Are you saying that you want to vote in the minutes to say that we're moving forward with changes in the website?
Yes.
Oh, we can do that. I don't think the grant people read our minutes, but yeah. But if it makes it official and you feel better about it, I'm cool. Want to make a motion?
Well, yeah, I would move that we authorize members of the committee to make changes to the website with the assistance of Civic Plus.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Cool, thank you.
All right.
We're now legal.
Sorry to be a stickler.
That's okay.
It's fine.
The thing
That's
I
better
get,
covered, I think.
the one thing that we're waiting on, so that you all know, I sent the email today to Shippo Curry, our contact there, to get authorization to move the money, and that will not be approved until she tells me it's okay, so. I'm sure she'll tell me that's okay, but. Okay, Ron, you want to talk about goals? Also in everybody's packet.
You've seen this for the first time.
Mhm, yeah. Sorry if it was emailed and I didn't read it. I've been putting out fires. at work.
So, what these goals represent are the goals, we spent 2 meetings kind of going through and brainstorming goals. And one of those goals was to review all of the, you have a copy, yeah. To review all of the short-term goals listed in the historic preservation plan. So what I did is I took the goals that we generated and put them in the order of the goals that are in the historic preservation plan, and then went through the detail of that for the short-term goals. And while I was in there, I said, well, why don't we just do them midterm as well? So what this is are the midterm goals, short-term goals, and what we identified as a group. And I think we can use this document to track our progress. So if you go down the first page, you'll see in bold under 1C completed. So as we complete things, we can check them off the list. And Carol has a lot of information on some of these may have already been done. We just haven't had a chance to identify which ones, and we could do that as a group. We'll also identify which of these are not for us to do, or perhaps the planning department should do, or in some cases, both bodies, both the planning commission has to take an action and the HLC has to take an action. So that's why we have this format. So it looks longer than what you remember was on those sheets. And it's because we brought in what the historic preservation plan. And that plan was adopted in 2020. And here we are 5 years later and we don't know what was done now. I think we need to document that. So we know where we should be putting our time. That's what that is.
Right. And also in here are our projects too.
The projects, yes. So you have the goal statement. If you go back to the historic preservation plan, you have the mission statement for the city, the value statement, and then it gets into this detail. And then the next level down are the projects that are achieving those goals. So the grant funded projects are all in there.
Okay. So do you want to take a vote? Or,
Sure, I'm into voting. But we were talking about this being in the website also.
Yeah.
I don't know where, but probably on the left, on one of those documents on the left. That would be left to influx.
And we had talked about some other documents that would be there so that anybody in this team could, there's things that are hard to find if you have to moosh around in the city website, and sometimes you just don't even find them. And so it's good if we've got our documents that we're creating in that website, say in one of those boxes, be embedded. Great. So does anybody want to make a motion to accept the goals?
I would like to make a motion to accept the goals with the exception of 1B, where we need to change the complete 6 intensive level surveys to 8.
Perfect.
Yeah, which is great.
Second.
Yes, I second.
I'm sorry. Thanks, Ron. Sleep at the wheel over here. So we don't have our staff liaison, or our council liaison here. Do you still want to do comp plan?
I think a discussion would be.
I think it would be good too.
would be good. I have nothing better to do because I'm retired. And I looked at the planning process with the comp plan and everything they're doing. And then looked at the project advisory committee called the PAC. And there are representatives of Parks and Rec, Canby Utilities, Clackamas County Planning Commission, Traffic Safety Commission, Canby Fire. There are 3 school district members if you count the alternate. Bike and Ped Committee, Canby Center, and nobody from the HLC.
Okay,
On the
Comprehensive.
Comprehensive Project Advisory Committee. And unlike those other city commissions, we are quasi judicial. They are not. I guess planning commission can be. And I think we should have someone on the PAC.
And because in those areas that are being considered for the urban growth boundary in particular, there are designated properties in there. So we have, once those properties come into the city limits, we will be responsible for design review and those sorts of things. So yeah.
Well, there's that, and I was going back on your comments during the goal setting. It's the whole concept of preserving ag land and the cultural aspects of ag.
Yeah.
If we don't have a voice on that committee,
Right.
we're gonna get Amazon warehouse, I mean, what?
yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Good point.
So I did send an email based on conversations with Ron and with you, the comments that Jennifer, you made at our last meeting. I did send an email to Curry Gill
Yeah.
at SHPO to say, what can we do about this? And so she has given me the name of somebody that I could talk with in Land Conservation and Development, the department, about maybe getting funding to do a cultural resource survey. And then I asked about the indigenous burial sites and that we think is there, and the trails and those sorts of things and what's happening there. She gave me some context for that. And she really said, yeah, some of the stuff that you're talking about needs to be done. And so the good thing is I shared that then with Emma to see what have we done. And I think Emma's still sort of thinking through some of that, but that's when she came back and said that that one cemetery that I was concerned about is in New Era, and they weren't going to be in New Era, but in fact,
Yeah.
it's not in New Era. So I will let her know that. But she also gave me the name of the consulting firm that is going to be working with them. And I thought, I'm just going to pick up the phone and call that consulting firm. So that's next on my list. And then I also have to get in touch with those folks at LCD and say, what can we do about these things?
So is that cemetery in the urban growth boundary or in the proposed?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's outside of it. Just outside.
Okay,
Well,
we don't know where the
we did, maybe not this round of the comprehensive plan, but potentially in the future round out. But it's a cemetery that in general I don't even know how it's kept. It's on private property now.
Right.
So it's hidden, but it's important to Canby for a lot of people that were in the area and some of the earlier settlers and folks that were in that area, especially the Norwegian population that was huge here at that time, which is also the cemetery that's on Walnut that is now completely surrounded
Yeah.
by a building, and all the trees are gone, and it's just this island.
They didn't take
there.
trees off of the,
Oh, there's no trees there anymore.
I mean, but they didn't take trees off the cemetery property, did
Okay,
they?
there's none. There's no trees there anymore. It's just a complete postage stamp of,
Because one of the things
Nothingness.
that Curry told me is that any cemetery with, that has bodies buried that have been there over 75 years is an archaeology site.
yes,
And there are rules about what you do in archaeology sites, and I
Well-
moved, yeah.
it's.
Too late
it has-
now?
There's a buffer. Well, there's no trees there anymore. It's a buffer. And where the buffer is, I don't know who decided what the buffer is. I'm not sure if there was a actual archaeologist or anybody that was contracted out by that, whoever, Trammell Crow, I don't know who did that one. Yeah, and, yeah. I heard, well, I'm not gonna say, I heard that some things were found,
Oh, I'm sure.
that the cemetery was not confined to that
Of course it wasn't.
area.
No,
And I don't know what happened with that, but that's just hearsay right now. So I'm concerned about it. That cemetery is a really important cemetery for the Norwegian settlers, and many of them were part of the Lutheran church in town. That was their church in town.
you mean the Zor?
The Zor, yeah. The
Zor.
Zor.
Yeah.
Many of the very early people that were involved in that are buried there, so. So anyway, just, that's smack dab in the middle of the industrial park, so something to think about.
Yeah.
So. And I know, cause I drive by it every day, so.
That's a Trammell Crow.
I don't know who the overarching developer was on that. It's the OLCC. They're gonna be their main distribution center.
The OLCC is going into that site?
Yeah. Yeah. Am I wrong?
Onto the Walnut,
Yeah.
the grave, the cemetery?
The OLCC, that's the.
It's gonna go on the cemetery?
Well, it surrounds the cemetery completely. It's like, here's the plot, and then you go down Walnut and it's right there. It's like a cutout, cause originally Walnut, right there was farmland
There's a
there.
house there.
There's that was pretty much open, but there is a house here, just past it, and then you have Dragonberry.
Right.
And I know the person that lived here at that house, and they sold to, I think it's being rented now, Dragonberry's trying to take it. But then if you go drive down there, if you guys have a chance, just drive down there and you'll see what I'm talking about. The cemetery is surrounded by chain link fence, basically, at this point. And there's no trees. The trees are gone.
Doesn't
So-
Zor Lutheran Church own that still? Probably not.
I'm not sure who manages that. I mean, I know that was their cemetery, but
Okay.
I'd have to get in touch with a few people to
I
find out what the,
think I might have to make another call to the state archaeologist. That is obscene.
well, I don't know. I don't wanna throw shade on anybody right now, cause I don't know what happened with that. I just know
There
that.
should not be a chain link fence around it.
Well, there's the original, wood like this, and then you go out like maybe 10 or 15 feet. Have you been? by?
I have not seen it,
You
yeah.
go down, you go out about 10 to 15 feet, and then there's the job site is like right there. So you can get to the cemetery from the road, but it's pretty tight, it's tight.
There are other headstones?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a really neat little cemetery there. It really
I photographed
is.
underneath those trees they took out, and the
Yeah.
last time I drove by there, I saw the trees, so
They're tiny.
I didn't realize that must have been real recent that they did that in the last couple months, huh?
And it was
Well-
just in the area around though.
I don't know when the trees disappeared.
No, but I just, where were they? Were they in the, I think the grounds of the
were
cemetery?
on
They
the
were
right
kind
side,
of on the,
Yeah.
kind of,
Periphery?
yeah, they're on, okay, so if you're facing it on there, they're on the right side and around the corner of the back. There's like an outbuilding there too, that I don't know, but,
Okay.
I don't know how close it was to the gravesites, but.
the trees, they're,
Yeah.
The state of Oregon should not
Painted.
be violating its own laws.
This side or this side, I could go back and look at my pictures.
it's been a
So
while.
the pictures I took like
Been a while since I've been
15 years ago.
down there. Oh, yeah, you should look. Yeah. My tree guy that works at my place told me that he was maintaining the trees at the time, that many years ago.
Maybe it was 10 years ago. But yeah.
Anyway, there were trees there originally on that site, so,
Okay. Good to know.
yeah. Anyway,
So I am going to keep talking with Emma about this, and I know Ron wants to talk to Counselor Patton about how do we get on and also other ideas about talking to Dawn and the folks in planning about making sure that we're included. That we aren't left off this. Which leads me to the swim center. The swim center is on our list because swim center is 50 years old, actually 55 years old.
Yep.
Any publicly owned building that is over 50 years old has to, the owner, what it could be, the owner could be a fire district, it could be a school district, it could be, I mean, I'm not saying this particular building would be, or it could be a city or a county. But there is and you have this in here, you have this is Oregon Revised Statute 358653 that says if you are a public entity and you're going to do something to a building, you're going to sell it, you're going to remodel it, you're going to make changes, you have to get SHPO involved. And SHPO has to review what you're going to do and has to sign off on it. So I had heard, I'm thinking this was maybe last January or February, that the swim center was going to be remodeled. And I thought, I bet the city, just like with the cemetery, they're just gonna ignore that, the fact, because nobody here right now knows what happened when the city hall, we had to follow this rule. So, except for me, and I'm not gonna let them forget it. So I wrote an email at that time to the planning commission, or excuse me, the planning department head, Don Hardy, and I think I copied it to Jason and a couple of other people on city council, and maybe Tyler, to you and to Jamie. And said, basically, if you're gonna do anything with swim center, before you can touch it, you have to get approval. You have to have a design plan and you need to know what you're doing. And you need their, okay. And so Don Hardy, the planning director, got back to me and said he'd let the person know who is the director over the swim center. And so I drove by there about 2 weeks ago and there were people on the roof. And I went, what are you doing? I didn't stop, but I made a note of that and I contacted Emma right away and said, why are there people on the roof at the swim center? Have you guys gotten the approval? And I also called compliance, sent an email to the Heritage Department or Oregon Heritage to say, do you have the form? Have you guys approved this? I have not heard back from them yet. That's a real problem. I've got to get to them and say, why am I not hearing back from you? But Emma assured me that nothing was going to happen until they actually got that form and that the swim center person involved was going to be getting it filled out and sent in. So I think the reason you all need to know that is because it's just one of those things that we're in the field and we see these things. And so we're the ones that need to be the eyes and ears to keep SHPO informed. And you know, quite frankly, if that property has never been surveyed. So one of the things that the city probably doesn't know that they're gonna have to do yet is that somebody's gonna have to survey it, do like an ILS or an RLS, like we've done for other properties in town. And because that will be one of the things that the SHPO will take into consideration when they think about, okay, what do you have to do to retain the historic integrity of this building? So I hope they have money for that.
Well, the adult center building is close.
Hmm?
The adult center building is close too to 50 years.
Yeah, not quite.
80, yeah, 80, and it's either 81 or 82.
Yeah,
It's
getting,
over 40 and close to 45.
yeah,
Aren't they planning on just clearing that out?
pardon?
I thought they were planning on just like removing it.
The adult center,
Yeah.
they're moving. The whole adult center is moving, but I don't know that the building's moving. I don't know what's happening to the building.
I thought the building was going to be literally bulldozed.
Well, Jason said to me, he would just as soon tear it down.
Yeah, because it's maintenance and it's,
They might, I don't know. That's up to the city and SHPO doesn't have any say in that.
Jason said that.
the meeting that
Where
you
were-
and I,
yeah.
you and I were in that meeting. What was the meeting?
It was a training session.
Yes, yeah, and that's what they said they were gonna do.
Yep.
Adult center's moving, they're gonna clean out that because they were getting, having to pay the school district too high of lease amount.
And they still are
For the
for the swim
building.
center, yeah,
Yeah, so then they were like, let's just remove the building and be done with it.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's.
I also think that, is it the Ackerman School is not really a school, it's just a school-owned building. And the school district needs money. The city might wanna take that land. If the price was right,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You could just
Right, buy
subdivide
it from the
that
school
parcel.
district,
Yeah.
they were selling.
okay.
Expand the park or something.
So Emma will be here next meeting, which is gonna be in October, and she's gonna give us an update on what's happening with the swim center. Okay. For the follow-ups and the quick hits, I think the only thing I really want to talk about is the Night House. So we have had several conversations about the Night House and needing to do something about it. And last time Tyler said he was going to get me the address and name of the property owner, which he did. And just about 3 days after our last meeting, I happened to be just casually looking up something for someone else, and I was going through the list of recent home sales in Canby, and by gum, the Night House sold like 3 days after our last meeting. Yes, it did. I was looking at it, you know how they have the pictures there, and I'm looking at it going, oh my God, it's sold. And it was like, it sold out like, I'm gonna say June 6th or 7th or something like that, and our meeting was maybe 3rd or 4th. And so I called Emma right away to say what's going on, and so Emma worked with Chris Ann, who's our, I guess, our new code enforcement person, and they found out who the owner was. And it was really important to me to get to that owner as soon as I could, because I don't want to have to do like we did the last time, which is for those of you, I guess, it's just
Yeah, I don't know.
Tyler doesn't know and Ron, that when the last time the owner at that point had misinformation, and I don't know who had given them the misinformation, but thought that because that it was no longer on the National Registry because the special tax assessment had expired. Well, that doesn't take you off the National Registry. And so they went ahead and they started working on the property and took the siding off, took the porch off, the portico off. And yeah, it was a mess. And so at some point, they went to this county to get permitting and get permits, and the county said, no, we can't give you permits until you go through the planning department and get a certificate of authenticity, which they did. They went to the planning department here. And Sandy Freund was our planner at the time, our director at that time. And she said, yeah, you guys, you know, we're gonna have to do this, go through a design review and ended up sending it to the Heritage and Landmark Commission. Now, mind you, we were in the middle of pandemic, which meant that building supplies were being severely impacted by the supply chain. So these folks were really gonna be in trouble, or were in trouble already. And in the middle of during the hearing, they couldn't even be there because they were having a family emergency down in California. So they were literally on a speakerphone with us while we were deciding their
Yeah,
fate.
that was
So it
interesting.
was like a horrible, horrible situation. And we basically told them they had to remove all the siding that they'd put up that wasn't appropriate. And they had to take down the front porch that they had put up that was a craftsman style and they had to put the portico back. The portico was really important because it was like an important architectural design in that building. And so I thought to myself afterwards, we're gonna be so sorry we did this. It was the right thing to do, but we were gonna be so sorry because I figured out they just walk away. I mean, all the things that were going on, I have to give them credit. They went in and they changed the siding. They pulled off all that siding that they'd invested in. They put in the new siding and they put in a new the portico went back. I have no idea what they spent for that, but they have not done anything since. And I totally kind of understand that, but I never again want to have to tell a property owner that,
Too late.
ever. So it was super important to me to get to this property owner now, as soon as I can, to say, don't do anything. Or if you do, or if you plan to do anything to the outside, I mean, inside is fair game. They can do anything they want in there. But outside, if you're gonna do anything to it, talk to Emma. And so good news is Emma's with us on this. She's been working with us. We had a conference call with the property owner. I'm trying all my conference calls. I'm getting so confused. I am to the point now where I'm thinking, I wonder if I should just put a cot in the Mount Hood room and maybe an extra set of clothes or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, we had a meeting online and the contractor was there as well. He was pretty quiet. And unfortunately, I sort of promised him a pony and I couldn't deliver because I told them I'd try and find them grant funding, which I thought I could get them, and I thought I could maybe get a variance for them, because sometimes you can get variances on codes, but it turns out the variance really needs to be something that protects a part of the property that is still historic. So like a stairwell in a house, you know, they're probably something that was built in the 1890s, the steps are not wide enough, they don't meet code now. But if it's historic, then that's okay, you can probably get a variance for it as long as it's not a safety hazard. But we were talking about protecting a portico that essentially has been rebuilt and siding that is as really brand new. And we can't get a variance for that, so there's some things that they have to do to meet code that I couldn't help with, so I felt like I promised them and couldn't deliver, but they're being very kind about it, and the things that they're gonna have to do is they have to put in an ADA ramp. That makes sense. They have to put in two. They have to put in one in the front and one in the back. There's an apartment in the back that's completely separate from the rest of the house, so they have to put an ADA ramp in there. And then there are several windows on the second floor that don't meet code because they're not wide enough or large enough for a person to get out if there was a fire, so they have to redo those. I know, it's me too, but if I can't get the variance, if I can't get
Because they're
variance,
making it into apartments.
well, it's always,
Well, I know, but they're
just redoing the apartment. They're just improving the apartment.
continuing with the use that it has
There'll be, yeah, and so the only other thing I did was when I kind of ran into a brick wall with Kinsman and with Roundhouse, the two grant organizations that I thought we could get something from, because they only give money to 501c3s or public entities or tribes. And this is a privately owned, it's an investment property that somebody in California owns. You know, it's not anything that any board is gonna approve. And we could get the money, bring it maybe into the city, and then we could do a pass through. But it's not even that's gonna be the issue. It's gonna be, they don't want to invest, most foundations don't want to invest in a private property, so.
Well, I remember driving by there one time and I saw it was either 4 or 5 electric meters on the outside wall.
Because
At one time in the 1950s, they tried to turn it into a rooming house.
it
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
it still is.
Yeah.
Those 5 apartments are still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did get changed. That's what has been since.
Yeah, right after World War II, Bertha Knight is the one who inherited the house from her father, and she's the one that turned it into a boarding house, basically. So anyway, so the Knight house, I drive by it a lot, watching every moment.
They did cut the grass though.
There, and And we also, I saw a list of all of the things that they're planning on doing, and one of them is, the landscaping, they've got $20,000 in for that, so that's a great piece. But they've got the, putting in the ADA ramps. There's some repairs that still need to be done to the outside. Those are planned. There's going to be, I think, did they say, do you remember? Did we see a driveway in there?
I think they did, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a driveway in there, so it'll be nice, and the good news is Canby will get 5 more affordable housing sites.
Yeah.
That's a really good thing. And I did send an email to our state representative to say, you know, are there any kind of state programs at all that are available for this to help them with? And the answer was, well, she sent me, it was Audrey, most of you know Audrey, she's from the chamber. She works for Senator Drazen or Representative Drazen now. She did get back to me, but all of the sites that she sent me were ones I'd already been to. So, and there are sites that help renters, but don't really help builders. So. Anybody have anything else?
I think it's.
Any objections to adjourning?
Yeah.
No, we're adjourned. Thank you for coming.